I feel like shit.
Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days.
It's just one of those
happy days. The weekend comes, the cycle runs.
It's just one of those days where you don't wanna wake up. Everything is everybody sucks. You don't really know why, but you wanna justify ripping someone's head off. No human contact, and if you interact, your life is on contract. Your best bet,
Just knock it off, you scum bucket.
it's just one of those days. It's just one of those.
Happy days.
It's just one of those.
Happy days.
It's just one of those days.
The weekend comes, the cycle runs. Ready to make space.
It's just one of those days, feeling like a freight train. First one to complain, leaves with the bloodstain. Damn right, I'm a maniac. You better shoot, cause I'm fucking up your program. And if you're stuck up, you just locked up. Next in line to get fucked up. Your best bet is to stay away, motherfucker. It's just,
I'm losing my cool.
it's all about it.
Happy days.
It's just one of those,
Happy days.
it's just one of those days.
The weekend comes, the cycle runs. Ready to make space. These days.
Feel like shit. My suggestion is to keep you a distance. Right now I'm dangerous. Right now I'm dangerous.
Something's happening to the bonds.
And my day keeps going this way and this way.
I'm gonna pop you one so you'll stop playing games.
Give me something great. Give me something great. I hope you know I like a chainsaw. A chainsaw. A motherfucking chainsaw.
What?
So come and get it.
What we got here is a
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Chief Moody and welcome to episode 4 of the Mood of the Nation podcast. First off, I really want to apologise for the lateness. I'll explain why I was late this evening. Let me start off by saying, no, I was not at the barbecue whatsoever. But I will tell you where I was at just before I started. Well, why exactly I'm late this evening. No, sorry. Got my bedroom windows open because, again, getting some air because of how hot it is. So if you hear cars passing by like you did just now, you know, that will be what's going by, and I do apologise for that once again. So why I'm late this evening? It was because I was out with a couple of members from Patriotic Alternative Scotland. We were just in an area and we just handed out some leaflets to specific homes in a specific area. And that was it. Really good stuff. I actually really enjoyed myself again. Hopefully we'll get more done at some point later this month or maybe next month. Who knows? But it was really a scorching day today. In fact, I actually should have brought out like a water bottle with me because of how hot it was. But even that being said, after we'd done the leafleting, we went to like a local restaurant or pub, had a couple of drinks here and there, and that was it. So really good stuff. So that was what it was. So again, I do apologise for the lateness, and it won't happen again. That's why I was late this evening. I did see what comment was Scott's Armour. How you doing, sir? Who thinks Moody should take the knee at the start of tonight's show since Scotland's doing it now? That's not going to happen, nor that will ever happen. Fuck that. Never ever take the knee whatsoever. I hate this whole idea, because the whole point of taking the knee, especially for like a group like Black Lives Matter, it's basically a symbol of obedience. So honestly, don't ever take the knee whatsoever. Even if you get pressured in doing it, don't take the knee. It's honestly just not worth it. Seriously, it's all those people who demand other people to take the knee, like especially if they're black. If you honestly think this country is completely horrible, oppressive, or wrong, just go back to your own original ancestry homelands. That's all I have to say. Oh, but I'm sorry, but it was minorities that made Glasgow. Really? If that's the case, then why can't those same minorities do the exact same thing when it comes to their own fucking countries? You know, it really makes you think, doesn't it? But I digress. Let me see who else is in the chat as well. Quite a few people. Jose again, Gammon Sandwich, England 1, Paul. Well, it's Scott's Armour as usual. How you doing? Oh, thank you very much for sharing the stream as well. Both yourself and Scottish Town, which thank you very much. Oh, and another thing, Scott's Armour will be live tonight at, what was that? Was it 9 o'clock or 9:30? Around about that time anyway, but they'll be live. He'll be live on this channel with No Chance, and the third person is Bonnie Lad, if I'm not mistaken. So definitely check that out when the time comes. Let me have a... Oh, and No Chance, also thank you as well for sharing the stream as well on your Telegram channel. Yeah, so Scott's Armour's channel, 9 PM with No Chance. Oh, Resisting the Lies as well, and Bonnie Lad, right. So at 9 o'clock, check out Scott's Armour's stream at 9 o'clock on his channel. I'm sure that the link to his channel will be in the chat as well, just to make sure. Who else is here? Gamma Sandwich, Tony Smith, hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. Budgie Burger, hello again, thank you for watching the stream as well. Let me see, Sensum Communum, hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream as per usual. I think another... There's also Bonnie Lad, hello, thank you for watching the stream. Really enjoyed your stream last night with Scottish Town. It was really good stuff from last night, so let me see here. I think that's really about it, so there's no chance. My clock must be wrong. Again, my apologies for the lateness. Who else? Darnham Fox, hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. Ugly Truth, good evening. Afternoon, everyone. 14 as well for yourself, sir. He's mad with that. Trust me, No Chance. I've only had like one drink, and that was pretty much it. Because the other guys had to get like a train or a bus back home, so and that was really pretty much it. We were gonna have something to eat as well, but it was just because the lateness from the other waiters and waitresses, it was just taking far too long, so we thought, right, fuck this, we'll just have one drink and then just go home, and that was it. Dr. Jimmy, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. Let me see here. Hightower 005, hello, sir. Sir, I don't think I've seen you before, but again, if you're new to the stream, please hit that subscribe button, and I really appreciate that, and thank you for watching the stream as well. Spybot, hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. Tickle the likes, folks. I would say curb stomp the like button, but you know that's just me. So let me see here. Have to go, but I'll catch up later. Just thought I'd drop in and say hello. Well, no worries, No Chance. So thank you very much for tuning the stream. I really appreciate that. So 14 likes based, awesome. Let's see. What Tyler 1381? Hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream as well. And that's really pretty much it. So that's really good to see. Thank you all very much for tuning in. Awesome. Okay. It's a shit test for sure. I'd rather be sat than take the knee. Yeah, same here, Gammon. Same here. I'd rather be sat than take the knee. Knee bother. Let me see. That's pretty much it. Yep, cool. Oh, hold on. Hope you lads will be supporting the white team next Friday, Scotland v Africa in it. I'm pretty sure that might be Africa. Well, we know it's not really Africa, but it's. I would understand why people would call Africa because of the amount of players in the English team, but that's beside the point. Let me see here. Sammy Shaw, hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. Jalborg, thank you for watching the stream as well. I really appreciate that. Black Lives Fat. Dear, exactly. This is really good stuff. So, 10 minutes, well, just about 10 minutes in, so let's have a look at this. It's a milk chocolate mix at least. Jeez. Oh, and also, I got a water bottle here, again, because of how warm it is. because of my journey with some members of Patriotic Alternative Scotland, obviously it was really warm. As I said, I should have taken a water bottle with me, but hey, I'm here, so that's pretty much it. Running low on water, so if I need to go to refill my bottle, then I'll let you guys know as well. But in the meantime, let's have a look at this. We've got one black guy, two diversity. Oh dear. Right. Perfect. So, what to talk about this evening? What's the mood of the nation this week? I got something I definitely want to talk about anyway, what I've heard about this past Friday. Before I also get into that as well, just a quick update about a recent poll I did throughout this week. So last week I did a poll on my Telegram channel asking you guys, and also people who follow me on my Telegram page, if you guys would like to see the Mood of the Nation podcast airing not just on a Sunday, but possibly airing or going live throughout the week as well. So basically you get 2 episodes per week. Let me see. Now, of course, with the results, the result was an overwhelmingly yes, while there's like a small minority for no. I think it was 85% voted yes, whereas 15% voted no. So looks like a lot of people really want to see more episodes throughout the week. So you'll get 1 episode on Sunday, 1 episode sometime this week. I'm not entirely too sure. I'll definitely need to have a look into that further and see what would be the best day streaming, whether it be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, or anything like that at all. But again, I'll decide from there, and I'll give you guys an update with that for sure. So, what I'm going to talk about this evening, I'll definitely want to cover the recent Scotland team when it comes to British football. So, let's have a look here. Scottish Tam, Chief Moody, we want Truman Show coverage. Let's see. Yeah, we'll definitely get into the topic at hand here. So, this past Friday, there were talks about what's going to happen when it comes to the Scotland v England match next this coming. I think it's this coming Friday, if I'm not mistaken. So when it comes to that, so of course the English team decided to take the knee. What a big surprise there! Whereas the Scotland team we're not going to take the knee, but instead they were going to take a stand against racism or some gay shit like that. So that was going ahead until there was a bit of a backlash with some of the leftist types. You know, all these people who are pro BLM and all of that were just like, oh, why isn't the Scotland team decide to take the knee, or are they racist? You know, blah blah blah. So then, of course, they cave in to the pressure and decide, you know what, we're just going to take the knee next Friday with our match against England. Which really just goes to show just how completely cucked as a nation Scotland has really become. And it's just absolutely embarrassing. I'll definitely want to cover that just now. But again, before I do that, just a Wakanda FC. Here's a bit of a message from Sensum Communum. Chief Moody, ahead of John Davidson's blather on either Tuesday or Thursday would be a good call, mate. Alright, that's a good idea. Right, that's fine. Perfect. I'll definitely decide from there and see what will be the best day when regarding to that. Perfect. Sport is a sea of cockery. Yeah, it basically is at this point. Any sport you can think of. Well, I don't know if maybe you want to say the UFC. It maybe are not as cocked as any other like sport, any type of sports teams, if you want to call it that. But I don't know, maybe the UFC might cave into the diversity cause and all of that, but again, you never know. But that's just my opinion. I might be completely wrong about the UFC. Maybe they are completely cocked, but who knows. But I do agree that the idea of sports in general are basically just completely cocked at this point. Let's see, Bonnie, I look at cricket. Yeah, you know, I did see that from your stream last night, Bonnie. Cricket is just... I think there was some kind of like controversy with one member in the cricket team, at least in England in that case. There was some kind of. Oh, I know what it is. So basically, some guy in the team got a lot of trouble because of some very old tweet from like 10 years ago, or some kind of tweet he made when he was like a teenager or something like that. Which again, it just really goes to show just how bad things have gone when it comes to the whole political correctness and this whole anti-white narrative that we're seeing today. Which I definitely want to cover that just real quick. Let's see, cowards. Yeah, they're all cowards. Every single one of them. Even Chief, let's hope fentanyl never gets common over here like it is in the States. I really hope it doesn't, but I wouldn't be that surprised if that's going to be the case as well. Alan, hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. Joined late as I took the knee and my back went. Oh dear. Hopefully your back's okay, Alan. So, Scotland still has an all-white Bulls team. Yeah, that's still good stuff, but hopefully, but eventually they might come after that sport next. So who knows? I think we're going to stick with NHL hockey and ladies curling. Yeah, that's a good idea with that. So let me have a look and see this real quick. So. Right, okay. I do apologise in advance, guys, because what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to take a quick break, mainly because I really have to go to the bathroom. What I'm just going to do is I'm just going to play you guys a video just real quick while I come back after my potty break. So again, I do apologise in advance. Let me just play a clip from... just any random video again, just for you guys to see. So let me just share the screen real quick. I'll just show a clip. Well, it's not really a clip. It's basically like a piece of like a segment from a debate I've watched. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen this debate before. It's the debate between Jeremy Poole and Mark Collette that aired on the 29th of May 2021. So I'll let you guys watch that for a wee bit while I go for my bathroom break. Again, I do apologise in advance. I'll let you guys view that, and then I'll come back, and then we'll go back to where we were in terms of sports and all of that, and in terms of all the diversity stuff going on. So again, I do apologise. They were booed. 1 second, guys. I'll be back in just a moment. 1 second.
You seem to say only that for the white people, and that's, you know, that's almost a eugenicist kind of argument where you're saying that a certain group of people are having too many kids, but they're a lower class than us, so they can't have their kids. We'll stop those having kids, but we'll encourage us to have more kids. And it's an in-group. You talk about in-group preference, but you're saying, okay, I agree that people in the UK have stopped having kids for the wrong reasons, because they want to be more capitalist. A stronger capitalist. And I agree 100% with this. We went down a bad road. We should have gone family friendly. Families all along. We didn't. Now we're in a certain situation where we have to turn things around. And the answer is not to close everything down and say, right, white people have more kids. The other people, you can't have more kids because you've already got plenty.
Wait. So this is another interesting point you keep saying. You seem to be really upset when I keep pointing out that white people, the indigenous species, the Irons, the English, the Irish, the Scots, and the Welsh, they need to develop their in-group preference, or they need to rediscover it. This seems to bother you, but every
Not at all.
other
Not at all. In-group preference.
Group,
I love white women. That's my
every
preference.
racial group, don't you find it strange? Doesn't it sort of trigger something in your brain when you see that white people aren't allowed in-group preference? And today you've been really arguing against white in-group preference quite heavily, but every other racial and ethnic group in Britain are incentivized to have in-group preference.
No, I agree with you on that, and that's something like Black Lives Matter, and I disagree with that. I think each group can have their in-group preference. Agreed, 100%. But that trying to make one group higher than the other, because this is what happened when the Vikings came to Britain. I don't know if you know, but when Canute came, he decided to be British, and he sent his armies home and became British. And this is what happens. We have to make them want to be British,
You
want to be
can't-
part of our community.
Look,
And then Britain will be great. You cannot.
but why do you keep saying then Britain will be great? Look, you're
Again.
making this is really bizarre what you're saying. Ultimately, things have got worse and worse and worse.
How do you
The
stop them
more
having
people have
families?
come here.
How
People
do you
have
stop
got,
them
things
having
have got
families?
worse and worse and worse the more multicultural Britain's been. And it seems that your solution to that problem is to ultimately say, well, we need to bring more people in, but just
I
make
didn't
them
say
love
that.
Britain a bit more. and
No,
it'll fix
never said
everything.
that, Mark. That's not even close to what I said. I've said at least 5 or 6 times, no, we stop, we use a system and limit very tightly who comes in. I've said that all along. So Mark, that you're not even.
Why don't we just stop? Why don't we just stop people coming in? And why
How
don't
can
we
you
say to
stop?
those who don't want to be like us, and there are many of them in this country who actively don't want to be like this and us, and they've imported their culture to the exclusion of ours. Why don't we be big enough just to say to those people, you're not fitting in and we don't need you here? Why do you want to push a round peg into a square hole, right? Why do you want to make people be something they don't want to be? The people who've come here,
Because the suggestion for me is that they've come here, so they do want to be. Perhaps they don't know how to be. A lot of them don't want to be. And if they don't want to be, perhaps they should think about leaving. But the ones who come here have come here because perhaps they've got an aspiration. And perhaps when they've come here, that aspiration hasn't been realized through education, through whatever. And perhaps if we can help these become part of the community and help them be part and realize, wow, I really want to try and be British. And then we can make it better. It's not up to us necessarily to change their feelings, but they are here. There's people here. We either got to say, right, go back to the country you came from, goodbye, which
that's the correct
goes,
answer.
or we have to say, how can we make things better here? We can stop the coming in. We can encourage better behavior for the ones who are not. We can apply our rules fairly to the whole population. Fair rules to the whole population, and go along that road of giving people shared aspirations of a nation and make a shared aspiration. What is your suggestion then? Because there's what, millions, 2 million, 3 million, 8 million people here that you would just want to get rid of. How would we? How would we do that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
And this might blow your mind, but
No, I know you
If
do,
I
and you say you do,
wanted-
and all kudos to you. You actually say it.
if this might blow your mind, but when you go to places like Dewsbury, what do you see? You see people wearing their clothes. You see people practicing their religions. You see people speaking their language. You see people eating meat that has been prepared in a way that would appall the average British person if they knew how it was prepared. You see people importing their culture to the absolute exclusion of our culture, the indigenous culture. They do this and they create mini ethno-states. Now, this may shock you, but what is different about that little community in Dewsbury and a community in Pakistan? There's only one thing different, and that is that the British government are giving the community in Dewsbury free healthcare, free housing, generous benefits, giving them all manner of little perks for being here. These people, and this is why this is an engineered genocide, these people are not coming here, as you, if you don't mind me saying, naively suggested, because they want to be British or they're looking to become like us. They've come here because they are being allowed to come here, bring everything about them, bringing their nation with them, but doing so at our financial expense. And what I am saying to get these people to go away is institute true equality, take away their financial incentives, and actually say to them, look, here's some money and a one-way plane ticket. If you don't like it, if you don't like living by our rules, if you don't like speaking our language, if you don't like not abusing animals, if you don't like not abusing little girls and forcing them to mutilate their genitals if you don't like showing your face.
Those
in
things are
public
illegal and
places.
they have to be stopped. Those things are illegal.
For a minute there we go, perfect. Sorry about that, guys. That's me back. So hopefully you've enjoyed that clip from that debate between Mark and Jeremy. What an embarrassment that was for Jeremy's sake. I mean, with all the talking points he was making, it's the same talking points these Sipnats always make, where it's like, oh, I claim to be a nationalist and I love nationalism, blah blah blah, and then it really comes to show whenever they have a debate with someone from ethno-nationalism or anything like that at all, their true colours are shown. They basically are just liberals who just happen to hate Muslims. That's it. That's literally all it is with these Sipnats. Let me see, Scottish Tam. Let's see. Hope you washed your hands, Chief. I have washed my hands, Tam. I always wash my hands after my bathroom break there. So, but I'm feeling a lot better now. So, where was I? Oh yeah, so I'm going to talk about what happened this past Friday with Scottish football. So I'm just going to see if I can quickly get to this page here with two articles in mind, because I'm pretty much just going to cover this for today's stream, because I think that's pretty much the mood of the nation regarding to that. And I'll see if I can find it here, right? Because to be honest with you, I think that, well, in my opinion, that's pretty much the only big news story that was going on just now. And of course, understandably so, with what happened with the Scotland team, if people are just not happy with that. They're not happy with it whatsoever. Right, where did I found it here? Yeah, let me see. Okay. And then once I find those articles, we'll then just get right into it as per usual. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Just get those up real quick. Oh yeah, and also what I need to see, like in terms of the tweets. Cool. So let's open that new tab. So that's the first one. Put image in new tab. It's a bit small, but I'll sure that I can enlarge that for you guys. Right, perfect. And then I'll see if I can get. Is that Hamza talking about the whole football game? Let me see. I'll just put that up just in case. And then of course I found Nicola's comment about that on Twitter as well, when it comes to Steve Clark. And then I'll see if I can get the Steve Clark message about that. Let me see. I'll open that here just now. Yeah, perfect. Awesome. Right, okay, cool. So, I'll just also close Telegram as well. Here we go. Right, so for the sake of this, I'm just going to go through like a bit of a timeline in terms of before this, what happened this past Friday for a 4x2. Let's see. Just realised, is that Hamza and Shades for your avatar, mate? No. no, far from it, dude. Far from it. This avatar was me. If I actually need to get a new avatar at some point, because I've had this avatar since I first started YouTube. So hey, if there's any people in the chat, which is like Scottish Tam, who are artists and usually do some kind of artwork, if you would like to do like maybe make me like a new avatar, like, because I think it's about time. I've had this avatar since 2018. I think maybe it's about time I should maybe update it to something different and all of that. So if you want to design an avatar for me, just feel free to do so. That would be much appreciated. But until then, yeah. So it's definitely not Hamza with Shades. I can guarantee you that. Hamza Yusuf, what an absolute joke. I did watch it. No Chance. Just a quick point here. I did watch No Chance's video about Hamza Yusuf and how completely full of shit that guy is. Phil, let me see if I can find his video, because there's a certain part and I know you guys have seen it already, but there's a certain part where he's like, "All right, Glasgow." I know. No chance will also cover this as well, but just how completely cringe that is with Hamza. Like you could just tell just how desperate he is to try to be Scottish and trying to fit in with when it comes to the Scottish people, and clearly he cannot for his own sake. Where was it? Let me see. Now, because I'm not going to play the full video, I'm just going to play the specific clip of what I'm talking about here. Right, let me see if I can get this up here. Hamza. Oh, just a quality of the right, that's fine, no worries. Right. Oh, yes, this bit right. Okay, let me just share the screen for you guys real quick. Let me see here. Share audio. Yeah. Yeah, it's this clip here, and then once that comes in, then we'll just come back here, so.
Glasgow, let's hear you! All right, we have a crowd in the house. All right.
When I first saw that clip with Hamza here, I just cringed because it comes off as incredibly forced and it doesn't sound genuine whatsoever. Like, you know, just I'm gonna torture you guys. Like, watch this bit here, right?
To Monklands Hospital. Glasgow, let's hear you!
Look at that fucking shit-eating grin as well. Just the audacity of this fucking prick. The same guy who's a Pakistani man who claims to be Scottish, right? Everyone could be Scottish, but of course, for political sake, he'll then change to, well, actually, I'm a Pakistani man when it's politically beneficial for him. Who the fuck is he kidding, honestly? In fact, since I've got the screen shared, let me just get into the article here. So, start from the beginning of all of that. Fake region. I'm a minority. I'm just like you. What? Which is it? I know. Let's see. Let's get into. I'll just hide that as well. Also, just real quick, guys, is my audio coming in good? Because there's like a notification here when it comes to my internet. I don't know if maybe what's up with Celtoids. Even I can tell that's forced and I'm English. I know. Can't wait for Cockney's Sadiq Khan. I'm just as Scottish as you, but I'm also a minority. I know it's like, well, dude, which is it? You know. Chief Moody audio is great. That's fine. No worries. Yep, sound good. Perfect. All good. Awesome. Just wanted to make sure because there was like a connection symbol there. I don't know if that's going to be bad on my end, but anyway, that's fine. If it's good, then it's good. Perfect. So, article, the first one here in terms of the timeline from the Glasgow Times, or maybe Evening Times. Glasgow's politicians criticised Scotland's decision to not take the knee during Euro 2020. Now, of course, this is before this is the 11th of June, so this was, let me see, in fact, this was Friday. Or maybe, to be fair, maybe this is like slightly before the announcement of them going to eventually take the knee, but anyway. Scotland has been criticised by many of Glasgow's politicians for opting against taking the knee during Euro 2020. Steve Clarke's men were accused of sending the wrong message, quote unquote, in the fight against racism after the squad announced they would take a stand prior to kick off all of their games in the tournament. This will include the match against opponents England, who will continue to take the knee despite a section of their support voicing their discontent. Scotland's players argued yesterday they wanted to change people's mindsets and their behaviours, quote unquote. Right, alright. However, the Scots have been criticised across the city's political spectrum Carlton councillor Greg Hepburn wrote, "This is extremely misguided. Please take the knee and show solidarity. If we stand whilst England and others kneel, we will only be given one message, and that is one of cowardice." Oh, fuck you. So basically, if you don't take the knee, then that's a sign of cowardice. No, you know what's cowardice? It's actually people like you that think, oh, taking the knee is actually beneficial to the Scottish people. And the only reason they want to take the knee is because they want to appeal it to like a group of people, the blacks. Never mind the fact it's just a way for the whites to give in and... Well, sorry, I'm kind of like mixture of words, but it's because at this point in time with this whole taking the knee stuff, and I'll get to that comment later on, especially when I cover Nicola Sturgeon's response after Scotland decides to take the knee. But definitely taking the knee, I think to me, like taking the knee is actually a sign of moral cowardice, because you're basically trying to appeal to like a group of people that are not going to be fully integrated into our society, nor do they even want to be fully integrated into our society. Labour Deputy Leader Eva Murray said, "This is really disappointing, and I hope after today's reaction that the team reconsider," which of course they eventually do reconsider because of peer pressure. I'll get to that in just a second. Taking the knee sends a clear international recognised message that our national team rejects racism. Scotland should join our nations in taking part in this act of solidarity. No. Let's get something very clear right now. Most of the people who are taking the knee are white people for a fentanyl taking degenerate known as George Floyd. Not just George Floyd, but basically every single black person known to man who's living in the West just now. And when white people take the knee, all the fucking blacks are laughing at us. The whole point of it's not sending a message against racism. It's basically saying, hey, we blacks are taking over, and you whites better fucking enjoy it, because you're going to be a minority by 2066. If the trends continue the way they are, so you better accept it, or else you're a bigot and a racist, and especially if you're white in this case. Hold on, just let me take a quick sip of my water bottle. That's better. Damn, I really should have taken my water bottle with me when I was out, but anyway, that's beside the point. Let me see here. Take the knee or don't do anything at all. Southside Central Councillor Marie Hunter said, "A half-baked compromise will just annoy everyone." Glasgow MSP Paul Sweeney said, "Standing is not an act of solidarity in any credible sense." God, the cuckoldry of these people just absolutely astounds me. It will actually communicate a problematic, there's that fucking gay SJW term, problematic message on an international stage, especially in contrast to the moral courage shown by young black players in the England squad. I hope the Scotland squad will reconsider this. The decision against taking the knee comes in the context of the latter part of last season, when many teams in the Premiership also stopped the gesture and instead took a stand. This was primarily as a result of racism directed at Rangers' Glenn Kamara and amid players' anger at the continued presence of abuse within the game. This isn't it. Take the knee, Christina Cannon said. It's going to be utterly shameful seeing teams making a gesture in solidarity with anti-racism while Scotland players while the Scotland players stand there watching them, added Councillor Rory Kelly, which I've never heard of before. Leading lawyer Amar Anwar, there was a familiar name, who represented Kamara, also questioned the move. Yesterday, a statement from the Scottish FA, or Football Alliance, I think it's meant to be. Again, I'm not like a football person myself, but basically this reads, the Scotland's men national team will continue to take a stand against racism prior to kick-off for all UEFA Euro 2020 matches. The squad, coaching staff and backroom members will stand up to racism ahead of the Group D matches against Czech Republic, England and Croatia. Andy Robertson, Scotland captain, added, It's important we continue to tackle the issue of racism and raise awareness of the need to change people's mindsets, but also their behaviours. Good luck with that. Prior to our World Cup qualifiers in March, we spoke as a group and felt that taking a stand was the best way for us to show solidarity and also to reinforce the need to meaningful changes in society. And that's pretty much it regarding to the article itself. Hold on. Popular Glasgow Blizzard shuts down Euros England flag rail. Okay. Let's see. I'll come back to that just a short second. Right, so that's here. Okay. So just come back onto the next part here because as you can clearly see, there was a bit of like a uproar regarding to the Scotland team not taking the knee. Like, oh, how dare you not take the knee? Don't you know that you're basically caved into the neo-Nazi, white supremacist, racist types? Like, how dare you? Just fuck off. It's so blatantly obvious what taking the knee is basically it. Taking the knee is a sign of obedience, and like I said before, the majority of the people who are taking the knee in support of Black Lives Matter and George Floyd and going against racism are mostly white people. It's basically a sign of, yes, we're defeated. We whites should be ashamed of ourselves. You blacks are better. We should be ashamed of ourselves because of historical reasons like slavery and all of that. Never mind the fact that whites were also slaves as well, but oh no, don't tell a black person that. But basically, we want to cave in and be subservient to you blacks, and I would say I would be completely against that notion. It's so obvious what's going on. It's so obvious what they're trying to do. They basically want rid of us as quick as humanly possible. And it's just absolute. It's getting far worse when it comes to this stuff. But although, to be fair, there is some hope to all of this because there are a lot of people that are not happy with the whole knee thing taking place when it comes to sporting events or anything to do with media for that matter, because they see it as it's all political and they really are just getting sick and tired of it. So. John Enoch Pal MBE, hello sir, how are you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. Let's see, Neil for them, who do you think they are, Zod or something? Yeah, General Zod, yeah, Neil before Zod, yeah, all that comic book stuff. The response of these cunts should be, are you my god, are you my queen? No, well fuck off then. Exactly, that's actually a great response, sense of community, definitely. All these people just need. Well, like I said with the beginning of the stream, don't ever take the knee, especially like post Black Lives Matter, because we all know exactly what it's supposed to represent. It's supposed to be it's basically you becoming subservient to the black community. So honestly, do not ever get cut and take the knee whatsoever. Honestly, it's just honestly not worth it, because. I can't remember who said this one point when it comes to not just Black Lives Matter, but black people in general, whether it's Mark Collette or someone else from PA. Even if you were to take the knee, even if you were to give all these people everything, yeah, Jacob, that's a good point. A sign of submission, that's definitely a good point. Even if you were to give all these black people everything they could ask for, right? Like a country to live in, which of course they got, continent of Africa to go back to, but again, that's beside the point. They giving them reparations, giving them diversity quotas, giving them like all kinds of awards, giving them every single thing you can think of to the black community. And if you were to do that, it wouldn't be enough. It still would never be enough for these people, because the only thing that they really want is for us white people to go extinct. Well, I don't know if you want to call it extinction. Maybe that's like a very hyperbolic term or word to use, but sorry, excuse me. The whole point of what I'm trying to say here is maybe not extinct, but they want us gone. Definitely, they definitely want us gone regarding to that. Let's see. Sasha Johnson will be hailed a martyr for the joggers. I wouldn't be surprised at this point, especially what happened to her recently. I take the knee for no man, but I might for the right woman. Well, that's a good point. Yeah, especially when it comes to marriage. Yeah, I could definitely see that. That's definitely a good point. Must have been hell for him watching World War II unfold. Yeah, it must. It definitely must be hell for them. I could definitely see that. There was another comment I did see as well. Hold on 1 second. There we go, Darren Fox. We will never be subservient to bees or to blacks. Yeah, never be subservient to those people. Because even as I said before, even if you were to be subservient to them, it's never enough for these people whatsoever. Never enough. Scott's Armor, it's better going out swinging on your feet for what you believe in than being on your knees in fear as a pet for people that hate you. Exactly. That's definitely it. Yeah. Exactly the point being said. Derek Chauvin is innocent. Yeah, Matt Chauvin is a... oh dear. But I definitely agree. Derek Chauvin is innocent. He did nothing wrong. Definitely did nothing wrong. What's that, Tommy Sniff? No. No, definitely not. I'm not a degenerate, so I don't do any of that kind of stuff. Let's see here. Taking the knee is not standing up for yourself. Exactly, it's definitely not standing up for yourself. It's clearly a sign of submission to the other group. Which I know it sounds like I'm repeating myself here at this point, which I do apologise. We'll definitely move on to the next part here of what we're talking about. Are the Turkish going to bend the knee? You know, that's actually a really good point, because this whole talk, these talks about like, oh, this is like an international cause, but it's like, well, is every country going to participate in that, taking the knee against racism? I highly doubt it. You know, I don't think countries like Turkey or any other country for that matter would do that, but then again, you never know. Maybe they might cut to it, or maybe not for that matter, but again, you never know. So if I doubt Turkey will take the knee, but because it is Turkey after all, so, but who knows. Let me see here. Oh, Tommy Sniff. Let's see. Jizzy Stripe or Gizzy Stripe. Sorry, Chief, I forgot you were on. Maybe 6 p.m. is too early in the summer. Yeah, maybe 6 o'clock might be becoming a bit too early with that. But, you know, I thought maybe it would be the earliest time possible, but you never know. So. But anyway, I do appreciate you coming on, so that's really good to see you on the stream, so that's good to see. Let's see. Do you mean Boris Johnson? It's why submitting to blacks. Yeah, I know, but it's just utter bullshit, and this whole white guilt thing that's going on just now is just getting absolutely worse at this point. Let me get into this part here. Let me also see if I can zoom in on that page real quick. It's not really good quality. It's actually pretty decent quality actually. Now that I see that, right? Again, just let me share that. So of course now we get to Friday, when all that was coming out. So of course Scotland, the football team, decided to cave into the pressure and decide, yeah, you know what, we're not going to stand against racism. We're just going to take the knee because, you know, we're cucks that way. But as it says here from the BBC, of course, Scotland to take a knee in solidarity with England. Scotland have been taking a stand as opposed to a knee against racism, but have decided to show solidarity with England for next Friday's game at Wembley. Scotland's players will take a knee alongside with their England counterparts as next Friday's Euro 2020 game at Wembley. So again, I'm just really embarrassed as a Scotsman. To be honest with you, I wasn't entirely that surprised, to be honest with you, but then again, it's still really disappointing to see Scotland, you know, my country, which is so hilarious because especially if you live up here in Scotland, there's been so many talks on the radio and all of that about like it's been however long ago it was when Scotland was first played in the Euro UEFA games. I think it was like 23 years ago, or so they said something that to that extent. And they're like, oh, well, this has been a long time coming, but we're back into the Euros and all of that. And then this kind of stuff happens, and they're talking about like, oh, Scotland home of the brave and land of the free. Honestly, guys, can we stop saying at this point that Scotland is home of the brave and land of the free? Because that's utter BS at this point. Scotland is not a country for home of the brave and land of the free. It's not. I mean, if anything, I really don't want to piss people off when I say this, but Scotland as a country at this point in time, because of all the diversity quotas of all of the just a complete cuckolding you're seeing through time and time again. I would definitely want to call Scotland as a country, I'm sorry, excuse me, as a home of the cowardice and land of the willfully obedient at this point. Now I know some people might not be happy with me saying that, but to me it's just an observation of what's really going on within my country, So that was that message there. So here's Hamza Youssef. Of course, after all of this started to come out, with Scotland going to eventually take the knee, of course, all of the usual suspects come out swinging like, oh, this is so great for Scotland. They're instead of taking a stand, they're actually going to take a knee against racism. Which, in fact, no. Before I get into Hamza, let me get into Nicola Sturgeon, because this quote, this is just. Actually, no, maybe just for better context, here's a message from Steve Clarke, who I believe is the Scotland manager. So this is a message from Steve Clarke, and I'm pretty sure some people have read this already, but if you haven't, just take a look at this, right? So it reads, I am aware that some individuals and groups have sought to politicise or misrepresent the Scotland national team position on taking a stand against racism and all forms of discriminatory behaviour in our UEFA Euro 2020 matches, and in particular for our visit to Wembley. It is incumbent. Fuck me, I can't read tonight. It is incumbent on me as a head coach to reiterate that we have done so from our first FIFA World Cup qualifiers, and that it has been done in conjunction with clubs across Scottish football, including Rangers and Celtic. I explained in March the rationale behind the squad decision. Not only is it consistent with the collective approach from Scottish football above, but the purpose of taking the knee to raise awareness and to help eradicate racism in football and society has been diluted and undermined by the continuation of abuse towards players. For the avoidance of doubt, me, my coaching staff, my players, and my backroom team take a stand against racism and all forms of unacceptable and discriminatory behaviour across society. We do so to raise awareness of the ongoing problem, but also as a reminder to those who have the ultimate power and responsibility to implement meaningful change. In light of the divisive and inaccurate comments being perpetuated by individuals and groups whose views are denounced in the strongest terms, we have reflected today as a group. We remain committed to our principles of taking a stand, but we must also be unequivocal in condemning the opportunistic false narrative being presented by some. We have therefore agreed that we will show solidarity with our counterparts in England, many of whom are teammates of our own players, who have found themselves on the receiving end of abuse from fans in recent international matches. We will continue to take a stand together as one for our matches of Hampden Park, for our match at Wembley, and we will stand against racism and kneel against ignorance. So basically, long story short, Steve Clarke is a complete coward, an absolute cuckold. I was gonna say that the F word, but I thought maybe not. Sorry, excuse me. So basically, Steve Cook, he completely caved. Well, not just him, but pretty much all of the Scotland football team completely caved in. Now, I know they made the quote just now that, we're still going to take a stand against racism by basically kneeling down in solidarity with our English counterparts, but they still cave into it. They're complete cowards at the end of the day. So then, of course, as I said before, here comes all of the usual suspects coming out of the woodworks, coming out swinging like, oh yes, this is so great what Scotland are doing. Your Scotland are so brave and so stunning of taking the knee, for all the blacks in the country. In fact, here's Nicola Sturgeon's comment, which I'm pretty sure some of you have seen this already, but if you haven't, have a look at this. Let me also just zoom in on that just a little better. There we go. Might not be the best of quality, but still. From kickoff at Wembley next Friday, at Scotland NT and at England Football will be the fiercest of opponents, but before that, the players will unite in solidarity against racism. Good decision, Scotland. Well done. How is this like a good decision? Well, I really honestly can't stand this idea, right? Because look, as much as I completely disagree with Scotland, taking a stand against racism by literally standing up and all of that, at least it's somewhat better than taking the knee. Now, again, that's not to say I agree with Scotland, taking a stand, but again, it would be much better than simply taking the knee and all of that. But them caving in to this group of people and decided to take the knee for this next Friday's game, it just honestly goes to show just how complete, utter pussies we are as a country. Like I said before, whatever happened to the phrase, home of the brave and land of the free, it's not Scotland anymore. It doesn't exist when it comes to this country anymore. It's complete, utter cowardice that is going on in this country right now. So then, of course, that's Sturgeon's comment about that. Here comes Hamza Yusuf. Let me just have a zoom in on that again real quick. It might not be the best of quality again, but still. So, Thread. I don't know why you would start with that, but okay. Solidarity and leadership are both important in the fight against racism. In my view, at Scotland NT are showing both. Symbolism is also powerful. That is why taking the knee has come to be globally recognized as a symbol of defiance in the face of racism. How the fuck is it a symbol of defiance? If anything, it's the opposite of defiance. It's basically submission. It's a symbol of submission. You're basically caving in to a group of people that don't even give a damn about this country and always bitch and fucking bitch about how it's oppressive, it's racist, it's full of white supremacists and all of that. I mean, if that's really the case, why the fuck are you living in this country then? Why don't you just go back to your own ancestral homeland then, if that's the case? Like, you think that they would, if they hate this place so fucking much, why not just go back to where you came from? But we all know why they won't go back. It's all part of the bigger agenda to try and replace the indigenous people of Great Britain, whether it's Scotland or England, Wales or Ireland, wherever would be the case. It's part of a sinister agenda to try and replace us as quick as humanly possible. They will go to any means to get rid of us as quick as they can. And at this point, it's absolutely fucking disgusting. Because all these people, like Hamza Yusuf and Nicola Sturgeon, all these people that support all of this gay shit, it's so blatantly obvious of what they're doing. They're not doing it out of the idea of they genuinely believe in this shit. They're doing it because it's part of a political agenda. It's so blatantly obvious of what they're doing here. It's a symbol of defiance. Get the fuck out of here. Honestly, the sheer fucking audacity of that prick, of Hamza Yusuf. Yeah, Mr. Hamza, Mr. Hamza, I'm Scottish. Oh, by the way, I'm also a minority. Yusuf. Taking the knee is a global symbol of defiance. How the fuck is it? How is it a symbol of defiance? Are you actually kidding me right now? Are you on smack? Are you deluded or anything like that at all? It's just symbol of defiance. Get the fuck out of here. Oh my god. Hamza is Scotland Sadiq Khan. He pretty much is at this point, yeah. Joe Citizen, Chief Moody, take a look at the UFC and tell me how many defiant submissions you ever witnessed. Yeah, that's a good point. Let's see. My shite I took this morning was more That's a good point, RW. That's a good point. Let's see. Scott's Armor. Legend has it Hamza was also the first Japanese samurai warrior. Show some respect. Oh, Jesus. Oh, hello. My name is Hamza Yusuf. Yeah, I'm sure he loves. He also likes to drink. He eats ramen and drinks a lot of sake from time to time. Jeez. Oh my god. Who is it they claim to be defiant anyway? You tell me. I don't know. This is why I'm so confused of people saying, yeah, taking the knee is a symbol of defiance. Defiance against who? Who is it defiant against? Oh, what the fucking white people within this country? How? It's just oh, I'm sorry. Is it meant to be defiant against racism? Because it's clearly not. It's clearly, yeah, defiant against the whites. Exactly. That's basically who it's defiant against. Yeah, these same people that claim that it's the white people that are the most wealthy and the most powerful people in these European countries, but yet we see it time and time again. Women tend to be treated better than men within society. We see non-whites get more benefits and more better treatment than white people in these European countries. So once again, who are the ones with fucking privilege here? It's certainly not the white people, I'll tell you that right fucking now. Is this like the patriarchy or some other ethereal entity? It must be. It must be that, so. Like your Japanese keep doing that. Whoa! But I mean, could you imagine if Hamza Yusuf, instead of moving to Scotland, he actually moved to Japan? Could you actually imagine seeing Hamza going to Japan, becoming a Japanese politician? Which we know, if being Japan, that would never fucking happen. But let's pretend for a moment that Hamza Yusuf moves to Japan and becomes a Japanese politician. Could you imagine he'd go to the Japanese parliament and he would just be like, I really don't like the fact of there's so many Japanese people as Japanese politicians in the Japanese parliament. I think we need more diversity within the Japanese parliament. Maybe we should have non-Japanese people representing some minorities within Japan. The Japanese would tell you to go fuck yourself and probably deport your arse back to where you fucking came from. They would never accept that. Just so... It's so fucking... Again, my apologies for swearing a lot during the stream, but it's so blatant. It's so sad. It's so sad seeing this kind of multiculturalism being forced upon us when you would never see that in any other country, like non-European country for that matter. You will never ever see that in Japan or India or China, especially China. You will never see that, like Bangladesh or Korea or any other country for that matter that are non-European. Let me see here. I was invited down the pub today to watch Jogger Ball. I declined, explaining that I would not watch England as the team are not 100% English. Turns out a Jamaican scored and the crowd went wild. Of course he went wild. Because again, it's this whole bullshit argument of, well, if they have a British passport, then they're British. Who fucking said that? Oh, yeah, that's right. Ricky 8 million Doolan once fucking said that. Well, if they have a British passport, then they're British. Like, it's the same argument of, well, if they were born here or they have a passport here, then they must be British. No, it doesn't work like that. So of course you see all these people going completely wild of a Jamaican jogger scoring for the English team. Of course they going wild for that. I think the Scottish Parliament is brown too. Oh, yeah, they're good. Oh yeah, especially after this past election. There, what was the quote they said? Like, there's way more diversity in the Scottish Parliament than there ever was now. Like fuck off. Just fuck right off. I'm so fucking sick of this shit. I mean, useless. Hamza's highest point in Japan would be pool cleaner. Exactly, yeah. That would be his highest achievement in Japan. Hamza, cream puder narrow. Scott's armor. Maybe some brown guy seen a picture of the blue Pictish guy and thought he was just a really cold BAME and thought he would try and win a Scottish identity. Oh dear. Europeans have a natural empathy that is easy to exploit. Yeah, that's pretty much the reason why all this stuff is happening within the European countries. Definitely, that's definitely correct, Gerald Burke. Need to stop them branding us white. We're Scottish. Our observable phenotypes are mostly irrelevant and do not define our people. British passport here. I'm Irish. Will never be British. Dragon Energy. Exactly. Even you're saying that, of course. Our ancestral ties are deeper than a small pink book or a bit of paper. Exactly. Yeah. Our identity, whether it's Scottish identity, English identity, Welsh or Irish identity, is far more than just a sheet of paper or like a small pinkish book or maybe bluish book if you're in Scotland, but I'm not really too sure. But yeah, it definitely is far more than just like a piece of paper. You're definitely right on that. Make a black British footy team, then leave England, Scotland, Wales, and the two Irelands alone. Exactly. Sumo lives matter. Let's see. Diverse. 90% of the planet that has brown eyes and black hair. These are the diverse ones. Jog on. Exactly, Tam. In China, they actually edited out the black character from one of their Star Wars promotional poster. I did see that. I think that was from what one was it? Was it episode 7, The Force Awakens? Yeah. With our poster, there's like I'm forgetting the actor's name, but it's the black dude who plays Finn. I think the character's name. John Boyega, that's the dude's name. So of course he's on the poster. I think he was carrying the lightsaber, but in the Chinese poster, he was completely gone. He was not featured in that whatsoever because he was fucking black. Which again really begs the question with all these people that say there's like so much racism in the West and in the UK and America and in any other European country, but they'll never ever make that same point when it comes to China or Saudi Arabia or any other of these non-European countries. And again, we all know why, because they're non-European. It's way more easier and it has a much bigger agenda going on when it's in a European country rather than a non-European country. Let's see here. I replaced it with an Imperial fighter based China. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's pretty based what China did, but it's also kind of hilarious seeing all these Black Lives Matter types, being like, oh, the white man is so racist, but then we'll never see a peep when it comes to China doing that kind of stuff. I mean, yeah, it's pretty based, sure, but again, you would think that the black people would comment on something like that, but of course we all know they would never ever do that, so. To Tommy Sniff. Let me see. Exactly. Your identity matters way more than a piece of paper. Yeah, definitely true, dude. Definitely true. I no longer support that Britain exists. It's a piece of paper handed out by a home office run by Priti Patel. Yeah. That's basically where we're at now at this point. Yeah, John Boyega, that's the guy. Thank you, Sensum. Thank you. They don't make demands on their perceived right until they get their numbers up. They've done this throughout history everywhere they've settled in. Exactly. They've always done that. We've seen it throughout history time and time again. And from what we could tell, it's going to happen again, but probably even worse at this point. RW, if Jogs claim to be Scottish or any other ethnic group of the Isles, does that not count as cultural appropriation, or does that only work one way? I would probably say, maybe it works out one way, but again, with these people, there's no consistency with them whatsoever. No consistency. I mean, especially when it comes to Black Lives Matter, one of the leaders of BLM, I mean, I'm pretty sure I've talked about this before, but one of them, you know, is a commie douchebag. You know, believes in communism. I mean, the fucking Black Lives Matter symbol is the communism fist. Everyone knows at this point, right? But then she has like a couple of mansions. Like she's making so much money by being part of Black Lives Matter. But it's like, but wait a minute, I thought you were a person all about, you know, eating the rich and all of that. I wanted them to be taxed like for like a huge amount of money, but of course, as I said, there's no consistency with people who support Black Lives Matter or what's that thing that's going on in schools at the moment? Critical race theory, I think it's called, or something like that. You know, all these people, you know, making all these same points. There's no consistency with them whatsoever. Do you know what? You know, Powell, light button push. I would say curb stomp the like button, like that scene in American History X, but again, that's beside the point. Chief Moody, he wasn't carrying the lightsaber, he was nicking it. To be fair, he probably would have, because, you know, the jogger, so. We are the real people of color. Look at our hair, look at our eyes. Yeah, much more diverse when it comes to that, definitely. World Cup will be interesting for sure. I'm pretty sure it will be a way more interesting when it comes around, so. Chief Moody, check this out for based CN. Right, let's have a look here. And okay, let me have a look at that just now. Right, so I wonder if I can. Oh yeah, what I'll do is I'll just go on to the actual YouTube page for the stream just now. No, edit. That's not what I want to do. Right, yep, YouTube. Okay. I'm just gonna get that link just now, Jill Citizen. Thank you very much for that. And I'll just get on to this part here. Right, let's have a look at that here just now. Oops. Mute that just now. Okay. Right, so I clicked on that link. This is by Jill Citizen. Just click on it just now. Right, let's have a look at this. Right. Okay, so I'll share the screen. If I take that off just now, share the screen just now. Share audio. There we go. Right, so I'll just play that. Oh, yeah, I'll also hide that as well. So this video is called Racism in a Chinese Laundry Deterrent Advertisement. Let's have a look at this just now. I don't think I've actually seen this before, but let's give it a watch. Oh yeah, also put the audio for that. What the fuck? I've never seen that before. Oh my god. Which is I want to hold on, I want to check that bit again. Wait a minute. Oh my god. Because at that moment, I'm just thinking, right, she straight up fucking killed the guys. And then he pops out, and he's fucking Chinese. Oh fuck.
改变只需一颗俏皮洗衣溶珠，俏皮全国招生热线400-800-5086。
Okay. Oh my god. I can't believe I've never seen that before. Oh my god. Well, I'm gonna be honest, right? As much as I'm not a fan of of China because of how, obviously because it's a one-party communist state, but that was pretty fucking based. Actually, was pretty funny. I'm gonna be completely honest with that. That was pretty based. Thank you very much, Dual Citizen. That actually was a pretty good video. Oh my god. And of course, the West did their version. Instead of using a Chinese man, they used a white man to own China. Oh god. Yeah. Oh jeez, that was brilliant. That actually was brilliant. Yeah, but if the result had been Whitey, then it would have been blocked by YouTube. Yeah. Oh well, see that's the funny thing, isn't it? Right. Yeah. If it was like a black person being clean and it turned out as a white person, then yeah, that video would have been instant banned. It would never be shown on YouTube or any other platform for that matter. Oh my god. Thank you, Dual Citizen. That was brilliant. Thank you very much for that. Oldie but goodie. Based China ad. You hadn't seen it before? Fucking ace. That was actually my first time I watched that the advertisement. Oh my god. I'm not Scottish. I'm Anunnaki. Oh jeez, that was great. The Chinese don't like jogs and Muslims. They really don't. Oh well. Well done to whoever sent that link in. Yeah, that was Dual Citizen who sent that link. What to do, guys, is let's give Dual Citizen a 14 in the chat just now, as a way of saying thank you to Dual Citizen for sending that link within the chat. So that was really awesome of him to do that. Let's see, that's fine. Okay, and I'm pretty sure that the 14s in the chat. Let's see. I wonder if they'll come in any second. Oh yeah, they're yeah. All come at the same time. So yeah. Just hold on 1 second. Just writing a message here. Let's see. Yeah, that's fine. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, so there we go. I see all the 14s in the chat just now, and that's for Dual Citizen. So again, Dual Citizen, thank you very much for sending that link in the stream just now. So that was awesome of you. So let me see. Pretty much everyone in the chat has done that. So let's see. That wouldn't have made it past the concept stage in any ad agency over here. No, definitely not. It would definitely not be if I even just the thought of this idea for before going through the concept phase, it would never get past it would never be brought up whatsoever. Definitely not. Let's see here. Everyone send their 14s. That's awesome. Thank you very much for that, guys. That's great to show your support for Dual Citizen. That's, let me see here. I think that's gonna be pretty much it for today. I know it may be like a bit earlier than usual, but honestly, to me, when it comes to what we talked about earlier on, that's pretty much what was going on during the in terms of the mood of the nation, if you will, regarding to that. So Our advert would be some interracial BS trying to push this replacement agenda. No, it definitely would be that. It definitely would be that. It's already something we're seeing in mainstream media anyway. So with that, but definitely it would be something that would be pushed severely. So the advert was saying basically once you wash the shit off, then you have use that old video as an opening intro. Oh dear. Well, it would be funny. We'll definitely see something with that. So we'll see something, maybe sometime in the future with that. So, that actually was pretty funny. So, let me see here. Even this, yeah, dude. So, so what is the mood of the nation this weekend, Chief Moody? I would say the mood of the nation for this weekend was disappointment in terms of what's going on within UEFA like football. Although it's been something that's been going on for like quite a long while now, probably since maybe last year when the whole Black Lives Matter riots were really going on. I think ever since then it's been getting just worse and worse and worse. I'll give the demoralized out of 10. But yeah, I think definitely the mood of the nation for this weekend is I would say probably disappointment and probably frustration. Those would be the two moods regarding to that for this weekend. Because no thoughts of fuck. Don't get me started on Pride Month, Budgie Burger, because I don't know if I actually covered that already, but if you guys want, let me just finish off the stream by going into my thoughts on Pride Month. Pride Month is bullshit. Okay, it's just complete utter bullshit. Not only is it something that's pushing a completely degenerate idea and shove it down our throats, but you just see all of these companies, all of these corporations that are like Disney, Warner Brothers, DC Comics, like MTV, all these like big multinational corporations that are showing their solidarity for the gay community or the LGBT PQRS plus whatever is the latest trend when it comes to that particular movement. It's just such utter tripe. All these companies that support, the Pride Month. In fact, does anyone remember last year when Pride Month was going on last year, during June of 2020? Remember last year, I think it wasn't the day before, but I think it was minutes before it got to midnight for the 1st of July. All these companies decide, we're just going to change back to the original avatar, the original logo for our social media accounts. It just again goes to show they don't give a fuck about gay rights. It's all about making money. It's systematic games, exactly. It's all about the dough. It's all about the shekels. It's all about producing a degenerate agenda, shove it down our throats, and then make money off of it. These people who are pushing this agenda, they have no sense of morality whatsoever. These people have no sense of. I've already said morality. What other word I would say? No sense of. I just can't stand it, honestly. And all these people, they're claim to be anti-corporations and claim to be anti-capitalist and all of that. We'll just buy this shit hook, line, and sinker. They're like, oh, I'm so against all these corporate entities, blah, blah, blah. Then Walmart or Asda or Tesco comes out with, oh, by the way, we're for gay people taking it up the arse. What do you think about that? Oh man, that's so fucking brilliant. That's so cool. That's so stunning and brave and all of that. And then they'll just buy all the shit. They're basically caving into the capitalist system they claim to be standing against. They're so fucking stupid. And it's especially the worst company, in my opinion, when it comes to pushing this whole gay shit down our throats, is Disney, right? Now, Disney, as a company, right? Now, again, I just want to go back to China real quick, right? Now we can all say that China is pretty base when it comes to treating, you know, like non-Chinese people like, you know, badly and all of that. Which, you know, I could definitely see your point with that. Now, this point in time, when it comes to Disney, I don't think Disney as a company has any room to talk about. We need to be positive. I need to be diverse and spreading, you know, like gay rights that you're down our throats. But then when it came to the remake of the live action remake of Mulan, which was shot in China, by the way, and it was shot in like a specific area where like an actual concentration camp was going on. Now again, I'm not trying to come off as like some kind of Sivna or some SJW or anything like that at all. I just think it's really fucking hilarious. All these companies that claim to be for Pride Month and being for LGBTQ, again, whatever letters next within the fucking spectrum within that group, are also the same companies that will support all these people, support the countries like China, for instance, going through all that stuff. So, my again, overall thoughts on Pride Month is complete BS. It completely promotes a completely degenerate behavior and all of that, and it's so blatantly obvious what they're trying to do. Not only are they doing it just to make a quick profit, but they're also doing it to going against nature and trying to destroy the traditional family unit. It's clearly that what it is, because the whole point of the traditional family unit is a man and a woman, husband and wife, to get married and then develop kids, and then of course when they start to develop kids, it's increasing, you know, the white. Hopefully one day it could increase the white birth rate, and of course those kids will grow up, they'll meet people in their lives, they'll have children, and then, you know, so on and so forth. It's continuing on the family bloodlines, and also continuing on with the white race. So, and when you have stuff like gay pride coming along, or like interracial couples or marriages and all of that, is anything to do with that, with anything like left agenda per se, it's basically trying to destroy the traditional family unit, and it's absolutely fucking disgusting. Again, my apologies for swearing a lot, but at this point in time, it's completely frustrating, as you can tell. So, Pride was great back in the days when it was Pride FC, the Japanese fighting organization. I know what you're on about with that. Some incredible fights with one of the greatest of all time. Oh yes, Don Fry versus Yoshihiro Takayama. That actually was a great match, Jill Citizen. In fact, I think you can find that match on YouTube. It's if you don't know what I'm on about, for those that don't know. I'm not really like a sports person per se, but if there's any type of sport I do like, it's mostly kind of like fighting, you know, and all of that. You know, I grew up watching wrestling. You know, I grew up watching, you know, UFC and boxing and all of that. So let me just see if I can show. I'll show a bit of that fight, because it's actually a fucking brilliant fight between Don Fry and what was the opponent's name? Yoshihiro Takayama, that's the guy's name, yeah. Oh, let's see here. Hopefully I don't get, you know, copyright struck or anything like that at all, but because I'll only play like segments of it, because again, like I said, it's a brilliant fight. So hold on, let me show you guys this. Right, let me just share the screen. Oh, of course, the link is there. Let me just see that just now. Right, let me just double check and see that here. Again, thanks very much, Joe Sesson, for sharing the link. Again, let me just see. Don't know if it might direct it to the same video I got here, but again, we'll just have a look at that just to make sure, because maybe it's better quality, but... There we go here, so... Not just now. Yeah, it's even shorter as well, so that's even better. Perfect. Am I sharing the screen? No, I'm not. Right, oh yeah, don't forget about copper. Yeah, I'll try my best not to get struck or anything like that. So what I will do is I'll just show snippets of the fight, so you can swear in Japanese if you play. Let me see here. So let me see. Let me just get to this part here, the face-off. So
Paul Fry is not going to stick and move. He's going to fight. He's not going to go backwards. Kick going to forward.
Now, when we were talking with Takayama, look at this. When we
right
were talking
here,
with
they're
Takayama,
just
we were teasing
fucking
him about the
staring at
Rocky
each other like
hairdo,
that.
and he said that he thought about being a rock and roll guitar player when he was a teenager. And one thing about Don Fry and Takayama, they will deliver the intensity that we want.
He didn't blink once.
By Zine if he didn't blink.
Wow.
right, okay,
Well-
so let's get to the member
Right by the
back.
championship demolition, and there's that leg.
And this is in round 1, by the way. This is only the start of the fight.
Takayama. Synchronized punching, both guys wailing away with right hands. Takayama looking really bad here. Fry blasting the right and the left now. Wow.
I've never seen a thing like this in my life.
In boxing, holding and hitting is illegal, but not mixed martial arts.
Unbelievable. Now, everything that we was boring tonight, this made it up right here.
With a knee by
Wait, did you see that? Kind of legal in the head, sort of.
Takayama
Let's see.
with a
Oh.
knee by Takayama. What a surprise!
Wait, was this 2002? This is almost 20 years ago. Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna lose my hearing. The crowd is so loud. I had no idea.
Oh, this guys, look at this.
This is unbelievable. I had no idea that they were going to put this much zip into their zip.
Throw a knee, don't you throw a knee to the midsection just to distract them. They look to be a knockout knee, and they go for the head again.
Let's see if I can find
Subtlety
let me
is
see if I can
not
find
in
the part where they go
Nice,
to like
you
a
see,
short
there you
break,
go.
and then you see
Takayama
Yoshihiro's face is
He's
just
only got
completely
one.
like
It's
minded
a
up
Chevy
after that
Chevelle.
first round. I think it was the first round here, maybe it was the second round. I'm not entirely too sure, but
He is.
Went straight to the body.
They're having the doctor look at the moose under his eye.
but yeah, you can definitely see that Yoshihiro here is just completely battered to oblivion. So
I've never the beginning, and then they did it again. We're gonna see whatever happens. We're gonna see that again in the replay.
Okay, folks, the Pride video game is available right now, but in some ways, this will be soon available. But this was a lot like a video game. Okay, here we go again.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Right straight to the body with the left hook. That's Don Fry's secret here. Oh,
Oh, look at that! Don is teeing off on Takayama. Takayama trading back.
oh, God.
Don said that his game plan is to not get hurt against Takayama. Takayama maybe had a different idea on that.
you know, do
Now,
official
Don
video
now
show
maybe
the
spin.
end.
This is a bad position, man.
No, I'll end it there. But you get the point with that fight. Thanks again to Joe Citizen for sharing that link. That's definitely one of the best fights I've seen in a long while. I think I might have first watched that fight. Must have been like last year or the year before, because I must have been watching stuff like UFC related, and then it came up in my recommendations. Don Fry, and I'm like, who the fuck's Don Fry? So I looked at that. I think he was in like now in the UFC Hall of Fame, because he was like considered one of the best MMA fighters out there. And of course, that fight you can definitely see that fight with Yoshihiro Takayama. My money's on Tom Selleck. He kind of looks like Tom Selleck in a little bit. Yeah, I can kind of see that. Who won? Freddie Mercury versus Rod Stewart. Let's see. Check out K1 Kickboxing. It's class. Let's have a look at that. I've seen that before. Let's see. K1 Kickboxing. Let's just have a quick look at that, and then we'll see from there. Well done. Alright, okay, so let's have a look at that. That fight was unreal. Where do I sub? I think it's like from a smaller channel. I don't think I need to worry about like copyright or anything like that at all. So, Virasa Takayama is now paralyzed from the neck down. I seen that. Yeah, that was. I can't remember what fight it was, but yeah, he was paralyzed after like a certain match he was in, and yeah, it's really sad to see that from the neck down, he completely like wheelchair bound or completely paralyzed. If for those who were like wrestling fans back in the day, there was another wrestler I remember called Draws or something along those lines. Like a guy, he was in a match with a jogger, of course, and so the jogger picks him up and he was about to do like a power bomb. So basically, you put your opponent's face between your legs and then you carry them so that it's kind of carrying like a bag sort of thing, and then you just kind of throw them down to the ground. So now what usually happens with a power bomb is that the guy who gets the power bomb happen to them is they have to land perfectly on their back. Well, what happened was Draws landed in a certain way that I think he completely landed on the tip of his, not the tip of his neck, but on his neck, which made him paralyzed. Similar to what happened to Takayama, where he's now paralyzed from the neck down. So, which again, Draws was also featured in a documentary series called The Dark Side of the Ring, which covers various. I don't know how you want to call it, but various historical events within the wrestling industry, especially when it comes to the WWE or what used to be called the WWF, which is again just like really great stuff and all of that. So let me see. But you know, it's definitely sad what happened to Takayama regarding to that. The channel is called Glory Kickboxing, I think. Right, okay, let me see. Oh, I see it. That's fine. I got that here. Perfect. It must be my white European privilege, but twatting someone when they're down really does not rest well with me. Yeah. Yeah, I know, right? MMA is an ignoble sport. I can see that. So, who won? Well, I don't want really much spoil, but it was Don Fry who won the fight. So, he's a Tom Sal. It's a state of his coupon. Yeah, holy shit, that's the face is smashed up. Fair play to the lads. Yeah, especially at the start of round one. I mean, they were just fucking pounding each other, all of that. So. I could definitely see why some people might not like MMA, all of that. It's not exactly the most noble sport out there, which is why I tend to like boxing a lot more, because at least there's some form of like code of honor within like boxing and all of that. I might be wrong on that, who knows, but you know, I tend to, but I do agree with the idea of that. I tend to like fighting sport events that do have a sense of like nobility or nobleness, or I don't know if that's the right word for it, but a sense of like honor when it comes to that. So I can understand why some people might not really like the sport per se, but you know, Bruto, he bite him. So keep pausing me, don't want to strike. We'll be fine, especially when it's like skipping some segments when it comes to that video anyway. So I don't think, I think it might be alright. So looks like the group are from So yeah, that was all fine and dandy with that. Muay Thai is pretty great too. The kicking is impressive. I don't think gentlemen are invited. At least MMA it ain't fake like WWF. Yeah, I could, well, that's a very good point, Scottish Time, because we all know that the WWE. I'll say this when it comes to professional wrestling, especially when it comes to the WWE. It's not fake. It is scripted. I will give you that, right? It's predetermined. I'll give you that point, right? In terms of fake, if it's fake, no, I wouldn't go as far as saying it's fake, because let's be honest here. Most of the injuries you see within professional wrestling are real. Some people do get affected horribly when it comes to certain matches and all of that. So it's predetermined. I'll give you that. But in terms of if it's fake, no, I don't agree with that. So, but that's just me when it comes to pro wrestling. Chief Mooney, do you say Glenn Fry won the fight? Shit, the Eagles' royalties must be drying up. I think Don Fry did. Well, or Glenn, I think he did win that fight in that case. So. Let me see here. Jill Citizen, Chief Mooney, in the early UFC days, many fighters were trained by catch wrestlers, some of whom came from Wigan, and the legendary Carl Gotch, an absolute monster. From Wigan, I don't know if I might have heard of something like that before, but that actually kind of rings a bell a little bit, to be fair. So, let me see here. Fake and gay. Oh dear. Perhaps they enjoy it. Davey Boy Smith was crippled in the WWF. Oh man, yeah, Davey Boy Smith. In fact, I'm pretty sure, even if you're not like a wrestling fan, I'm pretty sure you remember what happened to Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit became absolutely deranged of what he was doing, to the point where he actually killed both his wife and his 6-year-old or 7-year-old son, and then pretty much decided to kill himself after that. Well, there was a documentary by CNN, of course it would be CNN, because they hate professional wrestling, making a documentary about the aftermath of what happened with Chris Benoit. And in that documentary, they have a segment about Davey Boy Smith, and the whole point of it was about steroid usage in the wrestling business. And of course, if you were a wrestling fan, if you saw all the stuff that was going on, especially back in the 80s, during the Hulk Hogan era or the Randy Savage era, you will notice that most of the wrestlers, especially a certain one, the Ultimate Warrior, who's of course now passed away, all of them pretty much decided to do drugs, because back in the day, back in the 80s, when it came to the wrestling business, especially with the WWE, if you really wanted to get out there, if you wanted to get really popular and all of that, you have to become really big and really muscular. So that's why all these wrestlers decided to take like a massive amounts of steroid usage, to the point where I think there was like a doctor that worked with them as well, that sold them all the prescription drugs like painkillers and steroids and all of that. And there was even like a massive scandal that happened back in the early 90s. I think it was in 1991 or 92. Or maybe it was 93 or 94. Like I said, it was during the early 1990s. Of course, Vince McMahon was completely acquitted from all of that. Vince McMahon, for those that don't know, is the owner of the WWE, or the WWF that it was called back then. It was acquitted of all charges. And then, of course, years later, when the whole Chris Benoit thing happened back in 2007, people started looking into the whole thing, what happened, that Chris Benoit did use steroids and all of that, to the point where they blame steroid usage that happened with Chris Benoit. And now, of course, there's like a huge health awareness policy that's going on in the WWF, despite the fact to this day there's like still kind of loopholes going on, but they're doing everything they can to make sure that whole thing never happens ever again with that. So, let me just have a look at this part here. Many of the old WWF stars are dead, Andre the Giant, etc. Yeah, what's even worse about the ugly truth is that many of them died before the age of what was it, like 40 or 45 years old, even before 50, which is scary beyond belief. You had people like, the Ultimate Warrior, you had Andre the Giant, you had people like Randy Savage, who passed away back in 2011, but I think he died in like a car accident or something like that. But you had people like Miss Elizabeth. You had people like not Howard Finkel. He died of old age last year. I'm trying to think. One of the members of the Road Warriors. Is it which? Is it Hawk or is it Animal? No, well, I know. I know one of them died of natural causes last year as well. Or was it the year? No, it was definitely last year. I think, yeah, 40-ish mostly. Roddy Piper. That's another example. Yeah, for the most part, it's never a happy ending. Yeah. Never watched any fighting, but I can definitely understand the appeal. Yeah. But it's definitely sad that when it comes to that industry. So, anyway, guys, that's 5 to 8. I'm just gonna end the stream here with that just now. Really appreciate you guys coming along and watching the stream or watching the stream. I really do appreciate that. I do again apologize for the lateness. I know maybe today's episode might not be really the best when it comes to that, but hopefully with episode 5. And of course, when I'm a lot more prepared, I'll definitely make it a much better episode for that. So, check out this guy. Insane Talent fought many people on a couple of days' notice. Fought Mayweather Jr., who to his credit says he was the hardest fight. I'll definitely check that looking through that link anyway. That's fine. Thank you very much, Joe Citizen. One of the Hart Foundation died young, I think. I think it was Owen Hart, but to be fair, I think he died. It was by accident. It was kind of like an accidental death that happened. So Josh Taylor, I could see Josh Taylor with that, definitely with that Bonnie lad. So, or I think the other it was either Owen Hart, but I think he died of like an accidental death that happened. Or I think it was John the Anvil Neinhart. Died of a drug overdose, or who's Davey Boy Smith's partner? It's not the British Bulldog. Is that the name? Davey Boy Smith's partner, is it the British Bulldog? That was his name. He was married to one of the Hart Foundation. He was married to like a sister of Bret Hart, Owen Hart, and all of that. So. It might be the British Bulldog. I might be wrong with that, but I'm not entirely too sure. So, anyway, guys, sorry, I'm deleting here. What I'm also gonna do is I've also noticed as well during that time, the Patriotic Alternative Film Club will be live tonight as well. So what I'm just gonna do is I'm gonna see if I can find the link for you guys to click on, and then that way you can move across to watch that as well. So let me just have a look in here. Okay, that's fine. So see if I can find. Just click on Horace's Telegram page. Or even moving over to Mark Collette's page. Either Odyssey, DLive, or anything like that at all. Right, okay, that is fine. Perfect. Is not sharing the screen, is it? No, that's fine. Perfect. Let me just see if I can find Mark Collette's Telegram page, and I'll post both links, either the Odyssey page or the and also the DLive page. So you can pick either or to click onto, and then just see that film club review. Tonight's film, their review. So I'm sure it's going to be still Mark Collette, Laura Towler, Horace, and also Native is Concerned, as the usual panelists on the film club. Tonight's episode, what they're reviewing is going to be a film called Blazing Saddles, which I haven't watched that film before, but I have heard of it. And I definitely have seen. I technically have seen clips of it, but I haven't watched the film in its entirety before. So maybe I'll check that out at some point down the line. But anyway, let me see if I can find the links here real quick. So copy, address, and paste it here. So that's the first link, and then here, if you don't use Odyssey, here's the link for the DLive channel. So let me see here. And of course, if you all also wouldn't mind, if you go onto either one of those links, I would imagine more likely DLive, but if you do so, just write something in the chat. Chief Moody sent you or something along those lines. So let's have a look at that real quick. But anyway, guys, sorry, that's the links for either the Odyssey channel or the DLive channel. So that's gonna be it for this evening. I see everyone is leaving already, and of course seeing a great stream, which I really appreciate that. Thank you all very much. Blazing Saddles is a very anti-white, good choice with that. Great stream again, Chief. Night all in chat 14. Well, thank you very much for tuning in. Let's see. Perfect. I'll see if I can find an outro song for the stream as well. Last week I used a song by Olivia Kay, who is a nationalist content creator who makes music, who also appeared on Jody Kay's stream from time to time, or maybe the one time I think it was, but let me see if I can find a song to play us out regarding to that. So I'm not going to pick that one because that that played last week. Let me see if I can find here. Maybe I think it's this one. Yeah, oh, that's fine. Yeah, I'll play this one. Perfect. Okay, so I'm just going to end that right here. I'm just going to play a song by Olivia Kay, I should say. So again, thank you all very much for watching. This is Chief Moody signing out, and I will see you all next time. Take care and stay safe. Thank you. Bye bye.
Disappeared, nearly left a wound that none of us could heal. I count my stars, it's a miracle you're here. And in spite of it all, you're not afraid to feel. These are the stories I will tell my children. All of the sacrifice and service to them. Nothing comes easy in securing a victory, but it's worth it. These are the stories I will tell my children. Here's to the heroes. May we lift them up and carry our heads high. May we act as a beacon, offer protection, bringing ugly truths to light. May we be better, may we be worthy of our blood and choose to fight. These are the stories I will tell my children. Do you remember the day you promised you would do all you can? Facing an evil you might not live to see its end. Feeling the weight of the world and still here you stand. Staring into the heart of the dark with the will to destroy